The LA Lakers need to make a move if they plan on competing for a championship this season. Let's discuss. What up, ballers? Welcome back to the bar, where the takes are hot and the drinks are cold. We put out fresh NBA content almost daily, and we are live every single Wednesday night. If that interests you, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below, and while you're down there, smash up that like button. My name is Barry. Welcome to the channel, and I will be your host today. Let's go ahead here and dive into the video. All right, so it's no secret the LA Lakers missed the playoffs last season with a record of 33-49. They did not even make the play-in tournament. Quite a bummer for many Lakers fans after a prized acquisition of Russell Westbrook last offseason. Obviously, he is the odd man out. Let's take a look here at their projected starting lineup this season. So Russell Westbrook projected to start at the point guard position. Patrick Beverley, who the Lakers just acquired in the past couple weeks from the Utah Jazz, starting at the shooting guard. Of course, LeBron James at the small forward. You have Anthony Davis at the power forward, and Thomas Bryant starting at the center position. Looking at this roster, the main thing that sticks out to me is a lack of three-point shooting. This roster reminds me of the Lakers roster the first year LeBron joined the LA Lakers, where they decided we're going to surround him with playmakers instead of shooters. We all know how that ended up. That team unfortunately missed the playoffs as well. I have two potential trade ideas here to bring in some more shooting to the LA Lakers. And yes, they both do include Russell Westbrook. Let's go ahead here and take a look at trade number one. This is between the LA Lakers and the Indiana Pacers. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner land with the Lakers. Russell Westbrook and his $47 million expiring salary ends up with the Pacers. However, I do not think Westbrook alone will be enough to make this deal happen. I think the Lakers do need to include at least one, potentially two first-round picks. And yes, I'm talking about the 2027 and 2029 first-round picks. The Lakers like this deal because they bring in another defender in Miles Turner who can protect the paint, allow Anthony Davis to focus on that power forward position that he loves. It brings in more shooting around LeBron James with Buddy Hield. It gets rid of Russell Westbrook and allows Patrick Beverley to slide into that starting point guard position. This trade sets up the Lakers to compete this season. Yes, you can talk about Buddy Hield and his lack of decision-making ability and stuff like that. However, we've seen LeBron succeed with guys like this in the past. Yes, I'm talking about J.R. Smith, and no, this is not a knock on J.R. He's one of my favorite players, but he has been questionable in his decision-making in the past, and he didn't win a title with LeBron in Cleveland. Now, if you're the Pacers, why do you do this deal? Because Miles Turner wants a big payday next offseason, and Buddy Hield's locked up for 3 more seasons, including this year. So this is a salary dumping move. You basically acquire a $47 million expiring contract, 2 future first-round picks, and then next offseason you have a ton of open cap and hopefully a really good draft pick. Whether Westbrook would stay with the team, whether he'd be bought out or simply benched is yet to be seen, but I think this is a win-win for both teams. Now, looking back here on this roster, I mentioned you need three-point shooting, and some people might say, well, Barry, Thomas Bryant has been a pretty good three-point shooter throughout his NBA career. Hold on one second. I just closed a window here. He shot 35% from 3 over his career. And you look at the past few seasons in Washington, he had some pretty good three-point shooting seasons, including one of almost 43%, one of 40%. But you just look at all these numbers, they're not very consistent. He's only averaging, 1 to 2 three-point attempts per game. And the amount of games is very limited as well, right? You have 72, 46, 10. The dude hasn't played a full season in 4 years. Didn't even play a full season in his first year. Now, a lot of this could be due to a player like Thomas Bryant, where people don't want to take a risk on. He's young, all that stuff. But look at a guy like Miles Turner here. He's averaging about 35% three-point percentage for his career. You look at the numbers here. It is very, very consistent. 38, 34, 33, 35. Very, very consistent. And over the last few seasons, he's averaging over 4 attempts per game, which is the volume that I'm looking for. I think it proves that he is a consistent player. Yes, he did miss some games last season, but I think Miles Turner will be a much better fit at the starting center position. Now let's talk about Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is almost a 40% career three-point percentage shooter, and he does take a lot of bad shots, which is actually pretty crazy. As a Kings fan myself, I had plenty years of watching Buddy Hield, but you look at these three-point numbers, they're all pretty consistent, 40% all the way down to 36, which is unfortunate, but a lot of these are bad shots. I think that if he plays on a roster with a Pat Beverly that's going to get at him if he makes a mistake, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and he's playing for a championship, he will have a little bit more motivation to take better shots, and I think you'll see that in the three-point numbers. Here's an article posted by Fadeaway Sports. Former Coach of the Year believes the Lakers should go all in and trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. If it doesn't work, I cut bait and trade everybody next season. This quote is from former NBA Coach of the Year Sam Mitchell. He basically dives in here and says that you have potentially 2 more good seasons left of LeBron James. The next 2 seasons of Anthony Davis with all the injuries, look a lot brighter than maybe 2-3 seasons after that. So if you're the Lakers, you have a 2-year window here. Well, you need to make something happen. I don't think that's going to happen this year with Russell Westbrook. So let's make a deal. And I think this would be a great deal for both teams. All right. So let's say you are the Pacers and you're not into this deal. You don't want to help the Lakers. 2 first-round draft picks in the future don't really help you, and neither does Russell Westbrook. I have another option for you. In come the Utah Jazz. This, similar to the other deal, is basically a salary dump. The Lakers are only sending out Russell Westbrook, and I believe they would need to include these 2 first-round picks as well, 2027 and 2029. We just saw them complete a deal with the Jazz just a few weeks ago in acquiring Pat Beverly, so we know the lines of communication are open. But I love this deal a lot for the LA Lakers. This is Bogdanovic, Markkanen, who they just acquired, and Clarkson to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook and 2 future first-round picks. Just like the other trade, this trade brings in shooting. I believe this would allow you to move Pat Beverly to the starting point guard position. Maybe Jordan Clarkson comes off the bench for you, can win that 6th Man of the Year award, and help when LeBron James is resting, that he can come back in the game and not be down 5, 10, 15 points because his second unit wasn't able to score. We know Jordan Clarkson can score, so no problems there. Lauri Markkanen, also a great three-point shooter, is absolutely killing it in Euro basketball right now. I think he could play the stretch 4 for the Lakers. However, Anthony Davis would have to be willing to move into that starting center position to make this deal work. But just looking at the numbers here, Bogdanovic is a career 40%, 39.2% three-point shooter. You got Lauri Markkanen here, career 36.4% three-point shooter. And then you got Jordan Clarkson here, 33.8% three-point shooter. Here's an article here by Clutch Points, basically talking about the Lakers are still interested in Jordan Clarkson. What will it take to make a deal happen? In my opinion, it's got to be something like this. You got to throw in some first-round picks. It's got to make sense for both teams. And I think that both of these deals involve teams that are trying to cut salary, teams that want to win the draft lottery next season, and Russell Westbrook and 2 future first-round picks. And these are first-round picks that could potentially be when LeBron James is retired and Anthony Davis is no longer on the team. So these could be quite valuable picks. All right, guys. Well, that is the video for today. I want to hear from you all. Let me know down below in the comments which trade you like better for the LA Lakers, if you think they will happen, if you think I'm totally off base here and neither of these are realistic, if you think the Lakers should hold on to Russell Westbrook, or what you think will happen this season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next video.